Hello, good morning everyone. My voice is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Last class I discussed about the pin and signals of 8085 microprocessor, and last days discuss about the test and ready pin, and today starting from the reset. Reset pin is the pin number 21. Pin number 21 is a reset pin. What is the function of this pin? Function of this pin is that causes the processor to immediate terminate its present activity or reset the processor, and this signal must be active high for at least 4 clock cycles. Okay? So function of the input signal in 8086 is that it resets the processor or causes the processor to immediately terminate its present activity, मीन्स प्रेजेंट जो काम कर रहा है वो जो काम है उसको टर्मिनेट करना है रीसेट पिन का और रीसेट सिग्नल का मेन फंक्शन. ओके, एंड mainly it is used for reset the 8086, and this signal must be high for at least 4 clock cycle. Okay, next is clock, CLA, clock, CLA, pin number 19. Pin number 19 is clock. The clock input provides the basic timing. The clock input provides the basic timing for the processor operation and bus control activity. Means how the bus control, मतलब bus के थ्रू जो डेटा जाएगा उसको कंट्रोल के लिए एक क्लॉक सिग्नल का जरूरत होता है, एंड इट इज कंट्रोल द बस एक्टिविटी. मीन्स बस के थ्रू कितना स्पीड से डेटा जाएगा व क्या जाएगा, ये डिपेंड्स अपॉन द क्लॉक इनपुट. Okay, so pin number 19 is the clock pin, and clock input provide the basic timing for processor operation and bus control activity, and it's an asymptotic square wave with a 33% due to cycle. Okay, next one is INTR or interrupt request. Pin number 18 is the INTR or interrupt request. So in this is a means in INTR actually it is a triggered input, and this is a sample during the last clock cycle of each instruction to determine the availability of the request. Is there any request after the completing any instruction or any operation? Is there any left, any another operation is left or request? It checks, its function is that it checks this availability of the request. Okay, if any interrupt request is pending, the processor entered the interrupt acknowledgement cycle. Okay, अगर कोई इंटरप्ट रिक्वेस्ट और कोई डेटा और कोई काम अगर पेंडिंग होगा, तब इंटरप्ट रिक्वेस्ट अगर पेंडिंग होगा तब प्रोसेसर क्या करता है, एंटर द इंटरप्ट एक्नॉलेजमेंट सिग्नल व्हिच इज INTA, interrupt acknowledgement signal which is INTA signal to the outside. This is the outside signal and this is the input signal and this is output signal. So interrupt signal actually it is the triggered input and this is the sample during last clock cycle of each instruction. मीन्स लास्ट क्लॉक साइकिल में इंस्ट्रक्शन का पूरा फेचिंग जो ऑपरेशन है वो कंप्लीट हो जाता है. वो ऑपरेशन कंप्लीट होने के बाद अगर कोई मतलब कोई रिक्वेस्ट अवेलेबल होगा व दूसरा कोई काम रहेगा वो डिटरमाइन करता है मेरा INTR और इंटरप्ट रिक्वेस्ट. एंड इफ इट इज पेंडिंग देन द प्रोसेसर enters the interrupt acknowledgement cycle. Interrupt acknowledgement cycle. Okay. Next is that minimum and maximum pin. Minimum and maximum pins. Okay. Slide change हुआ है. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in 8085 microprocessor can work in two mode of operation. One is minimum mode, another is maximum mode. Okay, one is multi-purpose, another is single purpose or co-process. And in 8085 there will be two modes and one pin number 33 which is called minimum and maximum pin number 33. Okay, so in what happened in minimum mode of operation, the microprocessor do not associate with any co-processor or cannot be used for multi-processor system. Only it is used as a single processor. Only it is used as a single processor in minimum mode. Okay, so what is the function of minimum mode? In minimum mode, microprocessor operate in a single mode of operation or single processor of operation, and it is do not associated with any other co-processor and can not be used for multi-processor system. But next one is that in maximum mode 8086, in maximum mode 8086 can work in a multi-processor or co-processor configuration. Okay, so in maximum mode of operation it is means maximum mode of operation in general it is the multiprocessor of 8086 or co-processor configuration of 8086. Okay, so how it can be decided that or how we can identify that when it is used as a maximum mode or when it is used as a minimum mode of operation. So it can be identifying by a signal which is called MN/MX, pin number 33. Okay, আমাকে দাও। So now when this pin is high, when minimum or maximum mode operation are decided by the pin MN/MX active low, and when this pin is high it operates in a minimum mode and otherwise it is operates in a maximum mode. So minimum mode or maximum mode is decided by the pin MN/MX is active low, MN/MX bar, MX bar. When this signal is high or this pin is high, it operates in a minimum mode, otherwise it is operates in a maximum mode. So clear when it is used as a maximum or when it is act as a maximum mode and when it is act as a minimum mode. Clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So these are the signal for minimum mode signal. These are the signal for stand for minimum mode. Pin number 31 to 24. Pin number 24 to 31 are the minimum mode of signal. Okay. For minimum mode of operation, the MNMX is tried to do VCC, means supply or logic high, or input is 1. Okay. So it is connected in a VCC or logic high input. So if the high, then it operates in a minimum mode, which is high means MN slash MX bar is high. So for minimum mode of operation, the MN slash MX bar is tried to VCC or logic high. In 8086 itself generates all the bus control signal. In 8086 it generates all the bus control signals, that these are the DT slash R bar, data transmit or receive, then data enable, ALE address latch enable, M slash IO bar, okay, means memory or input output, WR bar or INTA bar. So these are the signal of minimum mode signals. So first is that DT slash R bar, data transmit or receive, and output signal from the processor to control the direction of data flow through the data transceiver, means transceiver means transmit भी करते हैं, receive भी करते हैं through. Okay. So the output signal from the processor का जो output देखो, ये जो arrow है, देखो ये जो arrow है ना, ये देखो output direction में arrow है, means it is output signal. So the output signal of DT or data transmit or receive output signal from the processor to control the direction of data flow. Control the direction of data flow through the data transceiver. Okay. Next one is data enable. The output signal from the processor used as a output enable for transceiver. So this is used for DT, enable the DTR signal or data enable signal. So then is the data enable signal, and output signal from the processor used as a output enable for the transceiver, used as a output enable for the transceiver. Next one is ALE. You are all know about the ALE function. About the ALE, what is the function of ALE? It is the address latch enable, and it is used to demultiplex the address and data lines using external latches. It is demultiplex the address and data lines using external latches. Means जो मल्टीप्लेक्स एड्रेस डेटा बस है हमारा, वो क्या होता है, इसके थ्रू डीमल्टीप्लेक्स होता है. कैसे? ये जो मल्टीप्लेक्स एड्रेस डेटा बस है, एक कब एड्रेस मतलब act as an address bus, it is identified or decided by using this signal. At a same bus we can use for multi-purpose, just for using as a address bus as well as data bus. So it's depend upon the ALE signal. When the ALE signal is high, the multiplex address data bus act as an address bus, and when it is low, the multiplex address data bus act as an data bus and carry the data, and its actually it is used to demultiplex the address and data lines using external latches. Okay, clear? Next one is that this is also your known pin, MIO bar, means memory or input output. So it is used, this signal is used to differentiate the memory related operation or memory access operation or IO related operation or IO access operation. So using this signal or this pin is, we can identify it or differentiate to memory related operation or memory related access or IO related access. For memory reference instruction, it is high. When it is high, it is memory related operation is done or memory. Okay, and for input output operation of instruction, it is low. For input output operation, it is low. Okay, in 8085, that is the totally difference. When this signal is low, it's operate in memory related operation, and when it is high, it is operates in IO related operation. But in case of 8086, just opposite. When this signal is high, it is operates in memory related operation or memory related instruction, and for input output this signal is high. For input output instruction, this signal is low. And memory, when memory reference instruction, it is high. Okay, next one is WR bar. WR bar, this is actually write control signal. This is the write control signal and is asserted the low whenever the processor writes data to memory or IO port. It is low when the processor, means microprocessor, writes data either memory or either input output port. Or this is write control signal. Okay, so it is low. In general, it is low when the signal is low. The processor writes the data to memory or input output port. Next one is INTA bar. This is interrupt acknowledgement signal. This is interrupt acknowledgement signal. When the interrupt request is accepted by the processor, the output is low on this line. Output is low on this line to indicate that the processor received the interrupt request. Okay, to indicate that processor received the interrupt request, or it is the acknowledgement signal to send the transmitter to for acknowledgement purpose. So when the interrupt request is accepted by processor, the output of this interrupt request line is low on this time, and during this time the INT signal is sent. Okay, another signal is hold and HLDA. These two also minimum mode of signal, because I initially says that pin number 24 to 31 is the minimum mode of signal. For minimum mode of signal, okay, another two signal is this two signal is bidirectional signal. Okay, see here the arrow is bidirectional, means data can be either received or transmitted through these lines. So what is the function of hold signal in 8086? The input signal of the processor from the bus master are requested to grant the control of bus, and it is called DMA pin. Actually it is called DMA pins. or direct memory access pin, and usually it is used to DMA controller to get the control of bus of processor, get the control of the buses of microprocessor. So it is the input signal to processor, it is the input signal to the processor from the bus masters are as a request to grant the control of bus. Mainly it is actually क्या है ये, it is the signal to processor को जब ये करते हैं तब processor क्यों ये सिग्नल सेट करते हैं, क्योंकि it is used the processor bus, so he can takes the control of processor buses by sending this signal. Okay, and generally this signal is used for DMA controller or direct memory access controller to get the control of processor buses for using his purpose. And HLDA is the hold acknowledgement signal by the processor to the bus master, or means actually when hold signal is given to processor, the processor receive the hold signal, then it sends a acknowledgement signal which is called hold acknowledgement signal that just 1 second. हाँ बोलो बोलो। हाँ हाँ किधर पड़े একটু পরে 11:10 পরে। হ্যাঁ হুম 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 So hold acknowledgement is the acknowledgement signal by the processor to bus master to requesting the control of the bus through hold, and this is the acknowledgement is asserted high when the processor accept the hold signal. So these are the minimum mode of signal of 8086 microprocessor. 8086 microprocessor. Now next on is that maximum mode of signal. So this also the during the maximum mode operation, the MN/MX bar is grounded or logic 0. In case of minimum mode, it is the connected to VCC or logic high. But in case of maximum mode of operation, the minimum mode of operation, the MN/MX bar is grounded or logic low, and the pins 24 to 31 are reassigned for maximum mode of operation. So here pin number 26, 27 and 28, this is the S0 bar, S1 bar and S2 bar. So this signal actually is the status signal of the microprocessor. These are the status signal of microprocessor. It's identify that which type of operation can be performed by the processor. Means कौन सा type का operation होगा, it is identified by these three signals. So this is actually status signal of the 8086 and status signal, and it is used by the 8086 bus controller to generate the bus timing control signal, and these are decoded as shown. And here the status signal is S2 bar, S1 bar and S0 bar. When all the signal is low, means 0, the machine cycle is interrupt acknowledgement, or operation is interrupt acknowledgement cycle. And when the value of S2 bar and S1 bar is 0, but S0 bar is 1. So its perform the or its meson cycle is that read input output port, read input output port, read input output port. Okay. 0 0 1, and when S0 is low, S2 is low, S1 is high, means 1, and S0 also 0, then its meson cycle or operation is write IO port, means तब जो ऑपरेशन होगा क्या होगा, प्रोसेसर राइट्स टू द डेटा, राइट्स टू डेटा टू इनपुट आउटपुट पोर्ट or IO port, and when the both value means S1 and S0 value is 1 and S2 value is 0, then no operation can be take place, and this is the halt. This is the halt, means execution of the program is stop or execution of the operation is stop. Next on, when the value of S2 is 1 and both S1 and S0 are 0, then the operation type or meson cycle is code access. It is access the code by processor by using processor. So operation type is code access operation. And when the value is S2 is 1, S0 is 0, and actually S2 is indicate that it is input output operation. If low, it is the input output operation or input output port operation. If high, it is memory related operation or memory access operation. So when it is 1, it access the code. Where is the code stored? In memory. So memory से code को access करते हैं. देखो ये जो S2 है ये actually high को indicate करने के लिए used हुआ है, and these two are 0 means both are 0, then it access the code. Okay. Next one, when this value is S2 value is 1 and S1 value is 0 and S0 value is 1, so it is memory read operation. It is memory read operation or read the memory. And when the value of both मतलब S0 and S1 and S1 and S2 is 1 on and S0 is 0, it's write memory cycle or write operation. And when it is inactive or passive, when the all the value is high, means S2 is high, S1 is high, S0 is high, means all our value is logic high or logic 1, then the processor is passive mode or inactive mode. The processor is passive mode or inactive mode of operation. Okay. And another signal of maximum mode is that Q0 bar and QS on bar, and this is the Q status signal. These are the Q status signal or Q status means Q का जो status है in 8086 there are 6 byte of Q. There is a present in 8086 there is a 6 byte of Q, and it is the Q status. It is identified with the Q status. Okay, so in Q status the pin is pin number 24 and pin number 25. So the processor provides the status key of Q in this line. The processor provides the status through this, the status of Q through these lines, and the Q status can be used. The Q status can be used by external device to track the internal status of the Q in 8086. The Q status can be used by the external device to track or identify the internal status of the Q of 8086 microprocessor, and the output of the QS0 and QS1 can be interpreted as shown in the table. When the both value is 0, there will be no operation done in Q operation. There will be no Q operation is be done or process. When the value of QS1 is 0 and QS0 is 1, then in Q case or Q operation is first byte of the opcode from the Q is fetched. First byte of an opcode from the Q is fetched. Okay, and when the value of Q0 and Q1 means Q1 is 1 and Q0 is 0, the Q is empty. The Q is empty. And when the both value is 1, 1, the subsequent byte from the Q are fetched or operated. The subsequent byte from Q is fetched. So here when the value is 0, 0, there will be no operation in Q. Q का कोई function नहीं रहते. When the value of 1, 0, the Q is empty, means it is identifying or determined, or it is show that the Q in 8086 is empty, or internal Q of 8086 are empty. But when the value is Q1 is 0 and QS0 is 1, the first byte of an opcode are fetched from the Q. And when the both value is high, means 1, 1, the subsequent byte from the Q are fetched. Just 1 minute. So another 3 pin in pin number 29, 30 and 31 is the pin of maximum mode of operation pins. So these are the RQ GT/GT0, which is called bus request and bus grant, which are called bus request and bus grant. These requests are used by the other local bus master to force the processor to release the local bus at the end of the processor's current bus cycle, and these pin are bidirectional pins. Pin number 30 and 31 is the bidirectional pins. The request on GT0 will be higher priority than GT1 bar. Okay, so actually बस जो लोकल जो बस मास्टर रहता है वो फोर्स करते हैं प्रोसेसर को तो रिलीज करने के लिए किसको, नहीं तो लोकल बस जो लोकल बस रहते हैं उसको कब कब करता है ये फोर्स, एट द एंड ऑफ द प्रोसेसर. प्रोसेसर का जो एंड होता है मतलब जो करंट जो जॉब कर रहा है, मतलब करंट जो ऑपरेशन कर रहा है, जो उसका जो साइकिल होता है एट द एंड ऑफ द करंट at the end of the current cycle, bus cycle of the processor. Okay, and it is the request or bus grant signal of 8086, and these two signals are bidirectional signal. And according to the priority basis, the GT0 will be higher priority than GT1. मीन्स अगर कोई ऑपरेशन होगा तो तब अगर पहले एग्जीक्यूट करना है तो पहले GT0 को एग्जीक्यूट करेगा, मतलब GT0 का जो रिक्वेस्ट है उसको ग्रांट करेगा पहले, ओके, उसके बाद GT1 का जो रिक्वेस्ट है उसको ग्रांट करेगा. सो RQ0, these are the request are used by local bus master जब data transfer to another device with take place through 8086. जो लोकल जो बास है, मेरा लोकल मास्टर जो बास मास्टर है, वो क्या करते हैं, फोर्स टू प्रोड्यूस ए फोर्स और टू force the processor to release the local bus for his purpose at the end of the processor current bus cycle. And another pin is lock pin, pin number 29, and this pin is the output pin. Here you see the arrow. Okay, this pin is output pin. What is the function of lock pin or lock bar pin? It is an output signal activated by the lock prefix instruction. Lock prefix instruction, and it is actually output signal, and it is activated. It's go activate by lock prefix instruction, and it remains active. It remains active until the completion of the instruction prefixed by lock. In 8086, the output low on lock pins while the executing an instruction prefixed by lock to prevent the other bus master from gaining control of the system bus. Means जो अदर्स जो बास है उसको लॉक कर देता है जब तक जो हमारा करंट, मतलब उसको एक्सेस इजीली एक्सेस नहीं करने देते हैं, और इसको it can be lock the other bus. It cannot for the purpose of lock use the system buses. So these are the minimum mode and maximum mode of signal of 8086. Now come to architecture of 8086. In 8086 PPT change हुआ?
Yes sir.
तो जो प्रीवियस में कोई डाउट है जो अभी तक जितना हुआ आज का, कोई क्वेरी बाकी?
No sir.
ओके, ये जो क्यू बोल रहे थे ना, देखो ये क्यू है 6 बाइट ऑफ क्यू, देखो 1 से स्टार्ट करके 6, एंड दिस ऑल 6 आर, these are the 8 bit, but in instruction queue is 6 and bit is 8 bit. So in 8086 microprocessor जो architecture है, it is divided into two part. One is BIU और another is EU. 8085 का जो architecture है ये दो पार्ट में divided है. One is called BIU, another is EU, which is called bus interface unit, another is execution unit. And for this reason, the advantage of this architectural division is that its processing speed is higher than any other processor, means 8085 processor. Here the data can be processed in parallel mode, means parallel data transfer. One unit fetch the data, another unit execute the data. But in 8085 case, in case of 8085, it's the fetching and execution by in a serial processing. But in 8086, it process data in parallel processing mode. Okay. So in 8086, the architecture is divided into two parts, and this is the division part, and this part is called EU and this part is called BIU. Under the BIU unit, which means bus interface unit, the function of this unit is fetches the instruction, reads the data from memory and IO port, and writes data to memory or IO port. It is the function of BIU unit, is the function of BIU units. And function of the EU unit is that execute the instruction, it executes the instruction that have already been fetched by BIU unit, and both functions are separately and the function of this unit, these two units are separately done by 8086, and BIU unit and EU unit functions are separately. So function of the BIU unit is it fetches the instruction and reads the data from memory or IO port, and also it writes data to memory or IO port. And BIU unit or executes unit function is that it executes the instruction that have already fetched by BIU unit. Okay. So in 8086 there is the two part. This part is called EU and this part is an advantage of this part. It is the parallel processing unit. Okay. And in BI unit is present a instruction queue, bus control logic. Okay. And the some register, this is our segment, this is code segment, this is data segment. CS is stand for code segment, DS is stand for data segment, SS is stand for stack segment, ES is stand for extra segment, and IP is the index pointer. And this is the address generation bit, and the address generation bit is the address bit of 8086 is 16-bit address, and data bus length is address bus is 20-bit and data bus is 16-bit in 8086. And in left hand side here is the general purpose register, which is AX, BX, CX, and AX, BX, CX is divided into part. AH stand for accumulator high, AL stand for accumulator low. And general, this is a 16-bit general purpose register is 16-bit. Okay. And AH, AL, BH, BL, CH, CL, DH, DL, and this is SP stack pointer, this is base pointer, this is the destination index, and this is source index. SI is the source index and DI is the destination index, BP is the base pointer, and SP is the stack pointer. And here the ALU data bus is 16-bit, and with the content of another is the flag register. In 8085-86 there will be 9 flag register, but in 8085 there is only 5 flag register, but in 8086 their total number of flag register is 9. Okay. And in this is the internal control bus, this is the internal control bus. I explain each of the segment and each of the register each by each, and this is the ALU, or this block is temporary register block, and this is ALU, which is called arithmetic logic unit, Okay. Next is that and this is the address generation. What is the function of address generation block? It dedicated to adder to generate the 20-bit address. Next one is there will be a fourth segment. Which segment? CS, DS, SS, ES. Fourth segment. Each segment is 16 bit. Each segment registered is 16 bit, which is code segment, data segment, extract segment, and extra segment. Okay. And in 8086 there will be an advantage in segmentation. Advantage in segmentation. This is the total physical memory, and this is the segment 0, segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, and segment 4. In 8086, on megabyte memory is divided into segment. Up to each segment is 64 kilobyte of each, and the 8086 can directly address fourth segment, which is 256 kilobyte within the on MB of memory at the particular time, and the program obtains the access the code and data in segment by changing the segment register content to point to the desired segment. मीन्स हमारा जो सेगमेंट रिक्वायरमेंट है, जो डिजायर्ड है, उसको हम पॉइंट आउट कर सकते हैं यूजिंग कोड और डेटा सेगमेंट बाय चेंजिंग ऑल्सो द सेगमेंट रजिस्टर बाय सेगमेंटेशन प्रोसीड्योर. एंड इसका जो 8086 का जो मेमोरी है, जो टोटल मेमोरी लेंथ क्या है मेरा 1 MB है, तो इस 1 MB मेमोरी को हम लोग सेगमेंट में डिवाइड किए हैं, और ईच सेगमेंट क्या है मेरा 60 किलोबाइट है. जो हर एक सेगमेंट का लेंथ क्या है और जो ये है मेमोरी स्पेस क्या है मेरा 64 किलोबाइट है. एंड इन सेगमेंट एंड देयर विल बी ए address, directly address can be generated by a segment register of 4 segment register, and the total segment register value is 256 kilobyte, and it is actually in the same memory space, means within the range of 1 megabyte memory space. Okay, I end today's class.